Who's the most delusional person you've ever met? My mother called the cops on my boyfriend for kidnapping me on our date. Growing up, my mom drilled one thing into my head. Romance is a scam that only weak women fall for. Every time I accidentally mentioned a boy from school, she'd lock me in my room for hours, explaining how pregnancy and poverty were my only future if I opened my legs. I remember being 16 when I asked to go to the school dance. I thought we could do something normal for once, like go dress shopping together, or even just help me with my makeup. But no. Instead, she brought me to the living room and forced me to watch 16 hours of true crime documentaries about women who were called by their partners. I knew deep down that what she was doing was wrong, but I craved her approval more than I craved normal teenage experiences. So I became the daughter she wanted. No dates, no crushes, no prom, just me and mom against the dangerous world of men. Fast forward 10 years later. I'm now 26, living a double life. You see, I'd met Jason at a work conference and we were on the verge of getting engaged. But to my mom, he was my coworker who helps with heavy lifting. She even liked him in that context. A useful tool, nothing more. I'd gotten creative with the lies. Weekend trips with my boyfriend became mandatory work retreats. Our anniversary dinners were client meetings. I hated the deception, but I convinced myself that once she saw how respectful and kind Jason was, she'd understand this was different. But that fantasy shattered last month. She'd made a surprise visit to my apartment and saw us through the window, his arm around my waist as we cooked dinner together. The next sound I heard was her fist pounding on my door. "Open up! I know what you're doing in there!" When I opened the door, her face was purple with rage. "You disgusting slut, letting this predator touch you. How long has he been touching you?" Jason stepped forward calmly. "Ma'am, I think there's been a misunderstanding." "Or pissed! Get away from my daughter!" She actually lunged at him with her car keys aimed at his eyes. I jumped between them, my whole body shaking. Every emotion hit at once. Humiliation, rage, and a deep sadness that this was happening. I grabbed Jason's hand and we walked to his car, my mother screaming behind us about Stockholm Syndrome and sexual assault. She followed us to the parking lot, dialing 911 and crying that her daughter was being trafficked. As Jason drove us away, I buried my head in my hands, and it's while I was staring out the window contemplating life that I asked myself something. If I was my mom, would I raise my daughter and treat my boyfriend the way she does? The answer made me sick. No mother who actually loved their child would do this. When we finally parked at Jason's place, I made a decision that had been building since I was 16. I was done being her emotional prisoner. We drove back to my apartment where she was still waiting, now sitting on my doorstep with mascara streaming down her face. "Baby, thank God you escaped. I've called Dr. Pee-Pee. He specializes in deprogramming victims. We'll fix what this monster did to your brain." I sighed. "There's nothing to fix, Mom. I love him. We're getting engaged." Her face went from fake concern to pure rage. "Engaged? You stupid little bitch. Just like your aunt who threw her life away for Doc. Is that what you want? To end up like her? 3 kids? No money? Crawling back to family?" I stared at her blankly. "Aunt Sarah is happily married with a beautiful family," I said quietly. "You're the one who cut her off for not being miserable enough." She stood up, shaking. "I should have never let you work with men. I should have homeschooled you. You should have let me be normal," I interrupted. "But you needed me broken and afraid so I'd never leave you." Her mask finally slipped completely. "Fine, spread your legs for him. But when you're pregnant and he's gone, when you're diseased and used up, do not come crying to me. You're choosing cuck over your mother." "I'm choosing love over control," I said, before walking inside and locked the door. That was 3 weeks ago. Since then, my phone has become a nightmare. 47 missed calls a day, text messages with articles about women murdered by boyfriends, photos of pregnant teenagers with "your future" written across them. But I had my own plans, and they were going to change everything. Full story on channel, link below.